Hi, my name is Marija, sharing about my transformational journey. It's been a couple of weeks that I didn't share, but I have had so much education and so much learning in my life that I want to honor all the people who are on my journey. And one such person is Shellen, who is my voice teacher. Shellen has been in my life since 2015. Even though I had a formal music education when I was in elementary school back um, in Montenegro, we also had a music school, elementary music education. It was a parallel school you had to sign up and apply for and get accepted. And the school offered training in an instrument, choir, singing, solfeggio, music theory, etc. But I never, ever practiced learning how to sing. Even though I sang in a choir, I sang as a background vocalist in a band, I sang all the time. As a matter of fact, when I was pregnant with my second child, I remember sharing in a community that I've never practiced singing and that it's one of my favorite things to do, and that didn't make sense. And somebody recommended Shellen, and the rest is history. Now, I first worked with Shellen when I was pregnant, and it was amazing. I got to actually see that there are distinctions in singing, that I was the instrument, that it was all about aligning and then allowing something to come through me rather than controlling it. Similar to my experience of my ego, I was controlling my singing. Now, as I went further into pregnancy and then had my first child, I stopped singing for a little bit. And then during the pandemic, given that I was working on a phone and coaching, and people were sometimes outside walking around, and I was using the headphones, my voice would go out almost all the time. And I got really, really afraid. There was a moment when I felt such despair because I couldn't speak, let alone sing. And I started realizing that singing was such an expression for me. And having been younger and singing when I was younger and being told time and time again that this wasn't something that I should do as a career, and understanding that this is something on a side, I have never really fully given myself permission to just do the singing. And all these stories that we tell ourselves, right? Like what we should or shouldn't do, what's valuable, what's not valuable, rather than listening to our own inner yearning and then attending to that. So I went back to singing with Shellen, and it's been now a couple of years. I mean, from time to time I stop, but what I really adore about Shellen and her technique of singing is that she really works with you to get better, and she teaches you first the distinctions of a voice: upper register, lower register, what does it mean, training your voice inside of both registers, because when you train each element of your singing, then when you put it all together it sounds much better. And I don't know if I sound better, that's also up to you to interpret, but I definitely feel better singing because as a kid I was free to sing. And then I started being very conscious of it, self conscious, and I would rob myself of just being free. And if there was a high note, sometimes like I would tense up rather than just allowing it out. So, what Shellen taught me was to just kind of allow it out and then learn how I need to align my body and my instrument such that the voice can come out freely. And then, literally, as any other muscle, train my voice to get better and better over time. So, I'm so grateful for Shellen in my life, and I'll put her information below if you want to train your own singing voice with her.